Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Jamie Carragher claims there is no way Ben White gets England's call up right now. Jamie Carragher has claimed on Twitter that there is no way Arsenal defender Ben White will get a call up for England right now. White has been in brilliant form for the Gunners once again this season and is an important part of a solid Arsenal backline. The 24-year-old has been moved to right back to accommodate the in-form William Saliba, but has still been impressive. But it's for this reason that Carragher thinks White has missed out on an England call-up. Carragher was asked on Twitter if White deserved to be called up by Gareth Southgate, but the former Liverpool defender feels he has no chance of getting in the squad while playing at right back for Arsenal. Southgate recently named his final three Lions squad before choosing his World Cup team next month, and despite White's impressive form under Mikel Arteta, the defender is seemingly behind the likes of Connor Cody, Harry Maguire and Eric Dyer. White has been solid for the Gunners since making the switch from Brighton last summer. The Englishman played in the centre-back role last season and was a key in Arsenal pushing for a Champions League qualification. But it seems that the position change has hindered his chances of going to the World Cup in Qatar next month. White was first called up by Gareth Southgate in June last year and has made 4 appearances for England since making his debut, but the Arsenal man has been snubbed by Southgate for all of England's Nations League fixtures ahead of the World Cup. Arsenal star William Saliba disappointing for France and Denmark loss. William Saliba probably cannot wait to get back playing for Arsenal after a hugely disappointing night for the centre-back playing for France against Denmark. Saliba has of course been a revelation at the start of this campaign. Arsenal supporters had been pleading for him to get his chance ever since his move to the club, but even they could not have imagined just how quickly he would look like a superstar in the Premier League. He has surely been one of the players of the season so far. Unfortunately, he was not able to take that from onto the international stage on Sunday. Didier Deschamps' side were beaten 2-0 by the Danes in Copenhagen, and Saliba's evening ended after just 45 minutes. The centre-back was taken off at the break, with the damage already done to the world champions. Saliba cannot be blamed for the goals Les Bleus conceded. However, that did not prevent Get French Football News from rating his performance at a 3 out of 10. They suggested that he simply was not at the races this time around. Of course, Saliba's rating probably take into account that he only played 45 minutes. Had he seen out the full 90, his rating would have almost definitely been higher. Mikel Arteta will hope that the performance and early substitution does not hurt his confidence, but Saliba has had setbacks in the past, and yet he would often look a class apart while with Marseille last season, so there is surely every reason to think that a difficult night in Denmark will have no impact when Saliba lines up for Arsenal again. Arsenal dealt injury blow ahead of North London derby. Arsenal have been dealt an injury blow ahead of the North London derby against Tottenham. Alexander Zinchenko missed Arsenal's final game before international duty against Brentford, with Kieran Tierney stepping into playing at left back. Zinchenko also missed Ukraine's game over the international break, making him a doubt for Arsenal's game against Tottenham next week. To rub salt in the wounds for Arsenal fans, Zinchenko's replacement Tierney has also suffered an injury. In a statement on the Arsenal website, the club have confirmed that Tierney has left the Scotland squad to return to Arsenal to be assessed. Arsenal haven't gone into too much detail regarding the extent of his injury, but they have confirmed it was involving his head. Due to concussion protocols in the Premier League, Tierney may be forced to sit on the sidelines for a few weeks, meaning there is a good chance he misses the upcoming game against Tottenham. If Arsenal are without both Zinchenko and Tierney up against the attacking threat of Tottenham, they could be at a major disadvantage against their bitter rivals. Raul Sanllehi thinks Arsenal owners have made one big mistake involving Mikel Arteta. Former Arsenal head of football Raul Sanllehi has been speaking to The Athletic and thinks the Gunners owners have made one big mistake involving Mikel Arteta. Raul left his role at Arsenal in the summer of 2020 after joining the club from Barcelona back in November 2019. The former Barca man was part of the Gunners hierarchy who hired Arteta after dismissing Unai Emery, but the now Real Zaragoza director general feels the club have made a mistake by changing the model he implemented in North London. Speaking to The Athletic, Raul explained why he disagrees with Arteta being handed the role of manager at Arsenal. "I do not agree when clubs call the first team coach the manager," he said. "First team coach is first team coach. That is enough. Nowadays, the workload is overwhelming and I need him to concentrate on the first team. Anything that distracts you from that is not your responsibility. Travel arrangements, the pitch, salary budget, medical department, we will get other people to do that. The first team coach is short-term oriented, just win tonight's game." They have betrayed the model a little bit now by going back to the manager at the top. That is a mistake, but that is their mistake. I would have not allowed that to happen, but that's fine. It's working so far for them. Raul also said that he felt he had the ideal model in place before the beginning of the pandemic in March 2020. He added, "It's funny now, but I remember in December 2019 I had dinner with the four guys, Arteta, Edu, and head of football operations Has Fahmi and academy manager Per Mertesacker. On the toast I said, now it's on us. Now it's exactly the model I asked for. If it does not work, we have no excuses. That team for me was a dream team at that time. Then in March, everything just fell apart. It was sad." Barcelona and Arsenal among clubs interested in a Spanish star. Barcelona and Arsenal are among the clubs interested in Las Palmas attacking midfielder Alberto Molero. Molero, despite being just 18 years old, has already become a regular in the Las Palmas side with 3 assists in 6 games so far this season. He is understandably gaining interest from some big clubs around Europe. The young star can play anywhere in midfield, having played in a deeper midfield role just behind the striker and coming off the left wing already this season. Molero was also a regular for Las Palmas last season, but he is already tripled his assist count this season, showing the progression he's made. Now, according to Vigac's, Barcelona, Manchester City, AC Milan and Arsenal are among the clubs showing an interest in the Spaniard. To be playing so regularly in the first team at such a young age is heavily impressive, so it's no surprise to see the likes of Arsenal showing an interest. Working under Mikel Arteta could be of interest to Molero, with the Arsenal manager often showing faith in young players, and the Spanish link could also be a plus point. Journalist believes Douglas Luiz will join Arsenal if he leaves Villa. Journalist Simon Phillips has told Give Me Sport that he believes that Douglas Luiz will join Arsenal should he leave Aston Villa on a free transfer next summer. Luiz seemed to come close to moving to the Emirates on the final day of the most recent windows. Report claimed that the Gunners made a bid for the Brazilian. Villa, meanwhile, set an asking price of £40 million as the deadline loomed. The problem for Mikel Arteta's side was that Luiz's contract with the Villains expires at the end of the current campaign. The question mark over his future, therefore, remains, and Villa will be left with a tricky decision in January should Luiz decide that he's not signing a new deal with them. Certainly, Phillips believes that if Luiz is able to leave on a free transfer, a move to the Emirates is likely to be on the cards. The situation there, if he does become a free agent, Chelsea will probably have a look at it, he told Give Me Sport, but I think he will end up joining Arsenal. You can certainly understand why Arsenal backed away from meeting Villa's asking price on the final day of this summer. Luiz is an unbelievable talent with the potential to improve further. However, he's not yet the finished article, and with that, Arsenal probably could not justify paying £40 million for a player available on a free in a year. Lending him for nothing, however, would have the potential to be an absolute masterstroke from the Gunners. He has shown the kind of quality he possesses against Mikel Arteta's man no less. Of course, Luiz scored directly from a corner in Arsenal's recent win over Aston Villa. Alexander Zinchenko subsequently admitted that he asked Gabriel Jesus about the links with his countryman. Perhaps it may not be too long before Luiz is trying similar from set pieces for the Gunners themselves. Romano says Arsenal explored Pau Torres deal this summer. Fabrizio Romano has told Count Offside that Arsenal explored a potential deal for Pau Torres during the summer, but the Gunners were ultimately put off by his asking price. Torres has been an outstanding performer for Villarreal, helping the Yellow Submarine win the Europa League in 2021. Meanwhile, he looks to be in with a very good chance of going to the World Cup with Spain later this year. He has been heavily linked with a Premier League move in recent windows. Reports claimed that Tottenham had made a £43 million bid in the summer. Meanwhile, Romano suggests that Arsenal may make a move if Gabriel Magalhaes made a surprise exit. Obviously, Gabriel went nowhere, but it does seem that Arsenal still looked into a possible deal for the 25-year-old. According to Romano, the Gunners registered an interest in signing Torres, but ultimately, his asking price worth up to £41 million put them off. Chelsea, Arsenal and Tottenham also explored this possibility, but didn't want to spend 40 to 45 million euros, Romano told Count Offside. I think it's a very good opportunity on the market. He has experience, quality, left-footed, a very good centre-back. You can understand why Arsenal decided to back away from pursuing a deal for Torres in the summer. He is a brilliant centre-back who may improve further. However, Mikel Arteta is hardly struggling for depth at the heart of his defense. Ben White has had to play at right back for minutes this season, with William Saliba shining alongside Gabriel. Meanwhile, the likes of Takehiro Tomiyasu and Rob Holding are also in the ranks. Torres would certainly help improve their options further, but spending £41 million on him may have seemed unnecessary when the priority towards the end of the window was probably another attacking player. However, that may not necessarily mean that the Gunners have completely moved on from Torres. Arsenal target Mykhaylo Modric dreams of playing in the Premier League. Arsenal target Mykhaylo Modric has told the Times that he dreams of playing in the Premier League, while he claimed that he believes that he's only at 20% of his full potential. Modric has become one of the most talked about young players in Europe this year. The Ukrainian has been outstanding for Shakhtar Donetsk. His performances in the Champions League, where he has scored 2 and provided 2 assists in 2 games so far, have launched his reputation amongst many, but plenty of clubs will have been absolutely no strangers to his talent. Reports claimed Arsenal made an approach to his representatives in the summer, and Dario Serna suggested that he's only behind Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. in his position. The Gunners also scouted him playing for Ukraine this week. Modric has previously spoken of being open to playing for Arsenal, and now he reiterated his desire to play in the Premier League. He also made an exciting claim regarding his potential. Yes, it's possible, he told the Times when asked if he will one day play in the Premier League. The Premier League is the best league in the world and everyone wants to play in this league. I am only at maximum 20% of my potential. He went on to add, the worry for the Premier League sides is that there is plenty of time until the January transfer window opens, and Modric is about to come up against Real Madrid. Should he steal the show in those games, his price will have risen considerably, and there will likely be a lot more interest by the time the new year comes about. But it's encouraging that he has spoken of his desire to play in the Premier League and with Arsenal previously, and Mikel Arteta's man might be looking for one of the final pieces in the jigsaw in January, judging by the amazing start they have made to the season. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.